To do the week 11 team assignment, start on the course home and launch the Excel keyboard shortcut just in case you need it. Then back to the course homepage and assessment assignments. Before you go into week 11, look for the feedback on week 10 because I, as your instructor, am acting as the investment banker who is giving you a quote for the bonds, preferred shares, and shares that you could get through me. And you're going to accept this quote, and it will show you you'll eventually be able to calculate the limit of money that you can borrow, and also the WACC. So go into feedback, go down uh, to the feedback file, Excel file that I gave you, save it in downloads, and open it up. It's going to make it a bit bigger. Okay, so we're going to, and now that we have that open, we're going to go up into assessment assignments and week 11. So this first part is what I just told you about me being the investment banker, what you're going to find. And this part you're going to be doing individually before a class. And we're going to start the first step. We're going to find the total market value of each of the components for bonds, preferred shares, and shares. And at the end, you're going to be able to sum them together and figure out the capital total, how much total money you can borrow. So for the total market value of bonds, it's equal to the price times how many units you can get. So 900,000 for that. And now I'm going to autofill that across, shift and across to control R, and that's how much each of them components are there. Now I'm going to sum these, equals sum, and starting on bonds all the way to capital share, common shares, and a little over $2 million. And that is the capital total that you'll be using in part B, step 5 as a team to figure out which businesses you're going to buy. Now we're going to figure out the WACC. So to do that, we first need to know what percent that this 900,000 is of bonds over the capital total. So to do that, it is equal how much the total market value of the bonds divided by, and then I'm going to go end right and F4 it, the capital total. And so that's 44.78%. And I'm going to autofill this across, shift across to control R. There it is. Then I'm on, so I've done the percent total now. Now I'm going to figure out the after-tax cost for bonds. And I know it just says after-tax cost. There's only tax for bonds, or tax break. The other ones don't have tax. So we're going to be using the rate formula, and then after we figure out the rate formula, we're going to multiply it by 1 minus the tax, how much we're paying after the tax is taken out. So it's equal rate, and then tab to accept that. The first one is number of periods, and I know the bonds usually have coupons twice a year, but just to make this assignment a little simpler, we're going to have our bonds be once a year, and so the number of periods is the same as the number of years, 10 years, 10-year bond, comma. Then the payment is the face value times the coupon rate. So face value is up here at the top, multiplied by the coupon rate below it. And the next one is the present value, and this whole formula is designed to be negative at the end, and I don't want it to be. I want it to be positive, otherwise it messes up our calculations. So in order to reverse that, I'm going to make the present value negative, put a minus in front. And then we're going to be taking the price times 1 minus the flotation cost. Really, the formula is price minus flotation cost. And if they were both in dollars, we could do that. But you'll notice that the price, the $900, is in dollars, and the flotation cost is in a percentage. So the way to get around that is multiply this price by, in brackets, 1 minus the 1%. So in other words, it's 99% of the price. So that's the present value. Flotation cost, by the way, is the investment banker, me, my cut of this transaction. And then comma, future value. That one is just the face value when they eventually, at the end of the 10 years, I have to give them $1,000 for every bond. And then that's all I have for the bond. I don't have any of the other optional ones, type and guess. Close that. And now I multiply this by, in brackets, 1 minus the tax rate. There, 8.94%. That's for bonds. Now preferred shares, it's a different formula. So the cost of preferred shares is the dividend divided by the value or the price of the preferred shares minus the flotation cost. And again, these prices are in dollars, flotation is a percentage. We're going to have to do the same thing, multiplied by 1 minus flotation cost, and then plus the growth. So preferred shares equal the dividend divided by, and in brackets, the price multiplied by, in brackets, the 1 minus the flotation cost. And then I'm going to close brackets again to finish the denominator. Now that that's finished, I can add growth. There. That's the after-tax cost of, and they don't have tax, just the cost of the preferred shares, 15%. And then the cost of common shares, that one is D0, which is the current year's dividend, times 1 plus the growth rate, divided by, and the same thing, price minus, and we have to do the 1 times by 1 minus flotation cost, and again plus growth, very similar. So equal, and the numerator I'm going to put in brackets this time too because it's more complex. So the dividend currently, and then multiply that by 1 plus the growth rate, close brackets, and then I'm going to close brackets again to finish the numerator, divided by, and then to start the denominator I'm going to open brackets, the price multiplied by, in brackets, 1 minus the flotation cost, close brackets, and then close brackets again to finish the denominator. Now I'm going to add the growth rate. There. Now it's the sum product of these, and it's sum product because they take whatever the after-tax cost of bonds multiplied by the percent total of that, and then add that to the cost of the preferred shares and times by its percent, and then the after-tax cost times by common shares percent. And there's a formula that can do this. It's called sum product, and that's spoken of right here using the sum product. So that's equal sum product, and there it is. I'm going to tab to accept it, and I'm just going to grab the percentages first, and comma the after-tax costs, and then close brackets, and there it is. 11.22. That's your weighted average cost of capital. And because we're going to be using this in the near future, or when you meet as a team, and we don't always want to cite the E11, we're going to name this cell. So that's in formulas. So Alt and then M for formulas, and it's define name up in the middle, M, and D for define name here. And we're going to call this cell, and you'll see that it refers to WACC page sheet E11. We're going to call this WACC, all caps, enter. And now just save this, Control S. And now we're going to put it up into our team's Google Drive. And it doesn't matter if you keep it as an XLSX file or make it a Google file, because none of these formulas that we're using are unique to Excel, that they're both shared with Google and Excel. So it literally doesn't matter which one you do. So I'm going to go into my team folder, and I'm going, oh, and I should name this. It says that I should name it week 11 and then my name. So I'm just going to save as F12, and I'm going to call it week 11. Student 1 is my name, or yeah, let's go with student 1. And enter. Now, on the folder, I'm going to upload it. New upload, downloads, and there it is, week 11, student 1. And there it is. I have it uploaded, and I'm done this part of the assignment.